All right, everybody. Welcome on into the hot corner. And it is sizzling hot right now. The Giants are on fire. 5-0, 5 one-run games. We welcome you on in. Guys, what a week this was. The Giants looked like on Tuesday night we were, planning their funeral.
Yeah.
And here we are 5 days later. They are, maybe the top of baseball talking about, what's going on. I mean, they are right there. They are one game behind the Dodgers, tied with the Padres. They got the Rockies coming up for 3 while the Dodgers are facing off against the Padres.
That's great. And look at that, 10 games above 500.
Yeah.
Didn't have this on my bingo card.
Hey,
I didn't.
They were 5 games over 500 and losing 5-0 on Wednesday against the Padres. And they hadn't scored 4 runs or more in 15 games. They were dead to right. And all of a sudden, things just turned. That's how sports goes.
Especially baseball, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I tell you what, though, of course, if you want to talk about an identity for this team, the pitching is just, I mean, this is unbelievable. Is there another staff out there in the MLB that has a staff like the San Francisco Giants, specifically with the 1 and 2? I don't
know.
I don't see it. If the Giants got in a short series right now with the team, I like their chances. The only problem is, well, we all know is the lineup, but it's been enough. I mean, can you believe this, Dan? There are plus 45 in run differential. If you told me that, I would be like, what? The way they've been playing, they are plus 45 in run differential. I think the Dodgers are plus 74. We're right there, man. I mean, it's incredible in watching what this club is doing. It has the makings of something special. I don't think it's not like the 107. That one was a little bit different, but this one, man, I don't know. Lou, what do you think?
Well, it's funny. Glenn's not here. I think this team, and I don't want to be sounding negative, but I think they've gotten sort of lucky. This whole season, we now have 16 one-run wins, most in the league.
Yep.
Compared to the Mets, who have 12. So, we won the close ones. I mean, the last 6 games, the last 5 games were all one-run games, and it's gotten to the point where we can only depend on the pitching for so long. And it's not going to be, hey, they're winning all these close games. We're going to have to get used to them losing a few, especially if it happens on the road. When you're at home, of course, you always get the last licks. Again, I was out of town, so, I'm looking on my phone. I'm not watching it, and it was just sort of amazing. You get a walk-off. You score on, I think, Friday night was a pass ball, and you know what? Whole seasons, you're going to take this. I just think before we print, as Robert would say, the playoff tickets, let's see how we go on the road, and let's just see. And the other thing, too, is one of the things with me and Dan talk about, it's who you play and when you play them. Okay. One of the things we all talked about our great road trip to start the season, which was great, but those teams aren't the same. Right now we met, and I'm going to give the 2 wins against San Diego a lot more credit than Atlanta. Atlanta right now is a disaster.
They stink.
They've lost now 9 out of 11, 7 straight. They've lost 9 out of 11, and their ways they've lost have been total painful. They had a 4-run lead at home and they give up 9 runs. Their bullpen's not that great. They're trying to figure everything out. So let's just, hold the brakes a little bit. But at the same time, hey, it's 5 big wins. I saw previews on Baseball Tonight. Place looked rocking. I think it was Hello Kitty Day. Was that what it was today? They were giving something away.
Hello Kitty.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So, on teams like, what helps us is when you get a packed house, the Giants get on a roll. Next homestand, you're going to be getting more people, on Tuesday, Wednesday, when Cleveland comes. Then we have Boston, who just took 2 out of 3. So I think it's good. It's good to come back and, to do these shows. I think the chat thinks I like it when the Giants lose because I'm, negative. I'm just being a fan. Trust me, I like going when the Giants are winning. I like talking when the Giants are winning, because it's only one way where we can only talk about problems. And Dan brought up a great point on Tuesday when they made the change with Late Night, who, if you haven't, know Chad, he's now with the Anaheim Angels, which is great for him. New setting, who knows what's going to happen with him. But at least they made a move. And, I think we're going to look back in a couple of months. This is the move that maybe started the season positive.
And they're 5-0. They're 5-0 since that move, man.
5-0, yeah. 5 one-run games. I like what Dean says here. He says, we still only got 3 hits tonight. If our offense was league average, they'd be legit contenders. Right now, there's too many questions. Yeah. See, they are what? What's their record now? 30.
Hold on.
8-28.
38-28. Yep.
Okay, so 38-28. They played what? 66 games?
66 games.
So they got 96 to go. No,
that's it.
No. It's 162.
They played 66. They got 68 left.
90 something, right?
90 something games left.
96.
96.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
96. Did I say 60? I meant 96. Yeah. Pitching is going to at times falter. I don't know if they can go through the whole season with this same rotation. It would be pretty unusual for a lot of these guys to be able to pitch deep into the season. Roop, Birdsong, Harrison, none of these guys have pitched a ton of innings. And you haven't had any injuries other than Verlander. And that's so, man, you'd like to see him. I think what they're showing us, to me, what they're showing us is they're a resilient team that believes in themselves and somehow figures a way to win. When I look at them on paper and I put them on paper against the Dodgers lineup, against the Padres lineup, against the Diamondbacks lineup, against the Phillies, even the Braves, who they just swept, they're nowhere near these teams' hitting caliber, but they have this unbelievable thing called a bullpen. And somehow, if your starters can get you through 5 and you're in the lead by a run or tied or maybe within 1 run, you're in the game and you just need a break. And they seem to be getting these breaks. And the bullpen has just been – did you guys see the bullpen stat today?
Oh, it's like 1 across the board, right? I think I saw it the other night.
Here's the stat. I took a photo of it. Let me see if I can get it here for
MLB
you.
Tonight, I think. Oh, no, ESPN before the Yankees.
Look at that. Look at that. That is after the 6th inning.
That's a run better.
A run better than second place.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's why they are winning these games. If their bullpen was just average, they'd be under 500.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is that stat, we weren't even sure who our closer was. We went through major problems. 2 different closers. No, now everyone wants Rodriguez. So that just shows you how good it is. The question is, and Dan just talked about it, can this last the whole season? Can it last the dog days? And then, I don't even think I've seen, at least, I didn't see all the games. If Hicks even pitched, I think last time he might have pitched was like Monday or Tuesday for an inning. What are they going to do when Verlander comes back? And this is where, Buster's got to start saying, okay, you don't want to ruin what's been so solid right now. So you can have Hicks and a possible starter, and you have Wisenhunt, who deserves to probably be on the major league roster. And, they're going to have to start thinking, because obviously we're going to need another bat. We have, it's just one of those things. So I just wanted to bring that up. We have Hicks there. It's like, all right, so what are we going to do? Is he taking a spot where maybe we have somebody in the minors that can come up, because I thought, when Buster made the move, getting rid of DFA in Lamont and our backup catcher, who knows if we win those first 2 games if we didn't have a new right fielder with speed, as Dan loves speed. So anybody that can get on the base, he hit well, he put the ball in play, and he made his speed his advantage. Who knows? We tell you the truth, if Buster didn't make these moves, we might have a 10-game losing streak, and we would have been 500 instead of 10 games over 500. So I'm glad that Buster at least made an attempt, made a big move, and hopefully this is one of many.
Yeah.
And what's incredible too? Here's another thing. Lou, you kind of talked about all these 1-run games. You know what else is doing? I was having a good conversation with Ibrahim, and he brought this up. He brought this to my attention, and it holds some validity. One thing that these 1-run games that are given to San Francisco Giants, it gives them, if they're able to make the playoffs, they understand what it's like to play under pressure. They're doing it this entire season. So they got a little bit of we want to say calluses are being built up on them. You know what I'm saying? They understand, okay, even though we're down, we're never out of it. And they've experienced it. I think, what is it? They're at second in the league. I think they're tied with a few guys in 10 walk-offs. So they got something about it. And Danny, I think you were alluding to it too. There's something about this, and maybe this is the Buster Posey effect, right? Yeah. I mean, he's sitting there, he's motivating them. He come out when he made the move. It's go time. And I'll tell you what, here's another thing. If the Giants are still in it at the trade deadline, they got a lot of buffer here. Would it behoove? It would behoove Buster Posey if he's out there making comments talking about it's go time. Well, he's going to have to do his own go time as president of baseball operations and fortify that lineup. Could you imagine, even if we just had 1 bat? I would love to have 2, but even if you had just that 1 bat, just to alleviate a little bit of that damn drama and torture, gosh, where would this team be? Now, granted, we're talking here June 8th. Anything can happen, but just as it stands right now, man, dude, it's pretty exciting as a Giants fan to see what they're doing.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I have a trade for you guys that I think would work out for both teams.
Here we go.
All right. The Giants are signed for Jordan Hicks for 2 more years at $12.5 million a year. On the it's roughly, it's 11, but it shows up as 25 on the labor deal. So 2 more years, 26 and 27. The Atlanta Braves have a bad contract with Sean Murphy. He's owed $15 million through 28. They have Drake Baldwin now that costs them nothing. That's a better hitter. He's a younger catcher. He's going to be their starter. How about if the Giants, we'll take your bad contract on of Sean Murphy for the next 3 years after this, 26, 20 plus this year. You'll take Jordan Hicks. You only have 2 more years. And we'll also give you somebody else, pitcher, whatever you need. And maybe we'll give you one of our younger guys in the farm system, not one of our top 4 guys, but maybe a Mason Black or somebody like that. And Ozuna, remember I mentioned him a couple nights ago, maybe 3-4 nights ago. He might be available. He's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
Yes, Marcelo Ozuna. But if you give me Sean Murphy, now I can. He's a strong hitter from the right. Bailey's better from the left. Now you got a catcher who's a solid catcher. He's defensively very good, and he's got power. He's much better hitter than Bailey. I could see,
and he's used to playing in the Bay Area.
Yes, I could see.
All right,
get him in the lineup and platoon those 2 guys. Bailey,
right.
Forget the
I love it.
The straight platoon. I'm talking every other day. Next day, your turn. Next day. I don't care if you're facing right, left, just you know, if
Yes.
you're facing a lefty, it's automatically Murphy playing. But if you're facing a righty, I'd still bet Murphy in there. And let Bailey play half the time. He might be better for it. He'll be stronger. This guy, Bailey, is going to, we saw what he's done the last 2 seasons in the second half. How bad can it get this year?
Right. That's a great move. Now that is a solid freaking, I wouldn't even call it a backup. It's 1A, 1B type catcher situation, right? And then
exactly. It gives you a really good catcher that you got because, I mean, Sam Huff, Andrew Kinzer, come on. Is Kinzer, I think the moment Kinzer gets a hit, there ought to be, a party. I don't think this guy's going to get many hits. He was a worse hitter than Huff.
Yes. Huff was a better hitter.
Yeah, 247 lifetime to 210.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, whatever. To me, it's a nothing burger move, but I don't get it. Why you go from that? I mean, was it because the pitchers didn't like pitching to Huff? Maybe was there something there? I mean, he was doing well. The pitching was doing well with him. I don't know. The guy hit a home run too on that last road trip, just like Matos. I think the story is don't hit a home run to help the team win because you're going to be gone.
And you know what? Here, another great point to this too is if you're in a situation during a game and you need a pinch hit for Bailey, you could bring in freaking Murphy, man, and you don't have to worry about his glove because it will be fine.
Exactly. Murphy's an excellent backstop. I mean, the Braves are going nowhere. They're probably going like, why did we give this guy 4 years? They traded Wilson Contreras for this dude.
I know.
They got rid of Wilson Contreras to Milwaukee because they thought Murphy from the A's was going to be a better catcher. And so that just backfired. I think they would love to move off of that contract. They got 3.5 years left. Giants can suck that up, and at least it gives the Giants a reliable catcher when Bailey's not in there.
What about, are you guys sold? Lou, you answered this. Are you sold on second base with Fitzgerald?
I like Fitzgerald as first of all, I think he's the best contact hitter on our team beside Lee. He's the one that makes contact every time. But I like
Fitzgerald.
Oh,
you talking about Fitzgerald?
Yeah, I'm not saying he bats for average. I'm saying he makes solid contact every time. He doesn't strike.
Oh, not every time, Lou. Come on, what you smoke this week?
Strikes out.
No, but I'm just saying.
Did you have some kind of special doobie back there in New York? Come on, what's going on?
No. But what I'm saying is, I like him more as a fill-in player, not a starter at second.
Yeah, but he still strikes out. He's cut down on his strikeouts.
Out a lot. I agree. 25%. But if you look at the Giants, they all strike out. At least he makes contact. Is what I meant to say.
That's fair.
Hey, before I say anything, I want to bring up. I think the Murphy's a great move, but I'm sort of sick and tired of getting rejects that used to play for the A's. Okay, he was a decent player for the A's, but it was American League back then, completely different. It's almost like that's all we're doing. We have a manager reject A's, Chapman reject A's. Enough is enough. And Eric, I know you say he worked in. That's the one thing I think the biggest Giants problem is. We get these guys because they live 20 miles or 100 within 100 miles of Oracle.
Right.
It's one of those things that doesn't do me anything anymore. I want a player that's going to make us better, not because he's from the area. But I think Dan brings up a good point. And if we're going to do this with Murphy, and we don't have to give up much, because right now we're not using Hicks, we then got to think about other positions that we can upgrade. If you're going to do that, we got to then look at first. Second, if we can upgrade second and first, and I think a DH, possible DH, Encarnacion, we all got excited about, but I mean, has he gotten a hit since?
No.
He's been called up.
Hitless.
And the other thing is they put him in the right field. It's scary when he goes after a ball.
I know, man.
I always think like he's going to get injured. because he somehow makes easy plays look hard. Maybe it's just me when I watch the highlights where
he's clunky.
every one of his things. There you go. So, I just think that's the things we have to think about, because I think baby steps, second you ask, let's improve first and let's get, a DH.
I think you're okay with DH with Wilmer, to be honest. I mean, you might be able to. That's a tough position to upgrade. Wilmer's pretty solid. He's not going to play much in the field. I think first base, I really think Dominic Smith is just a holdover until Bryce Eldridge comes in August. And I do think he's coming in August.
Think so? August?
I do. I think this is fitting the exact timeline that I saw in spring. Put him in Double-A, let him master that. He didn't get much last year. He flew through the system. He gets a little over a month in Double-A. Probably would have had a little bit longer, but he was hurt. He's shown that he's power, 7, 8 homers, whatever he got down there in Richmond. Then he comes up to Sacramento early June. Give him 2 months. I think mid-August, maybe sooner if the Giants are really in need. But as long as they are holding on, they want to keep Bryce at that level where he can retain his rookie status for next year. Plus it gives him another year of arbitration, all that stuff, if he retains his rookie status. And then he's eligible for the playoffs if you do it right. Now, Smith is not a guy that's going to, burn down the bill. I mean, he's not a guy that's like, hey, this is the top first baseman, but he's adequate. He is adequate in the sense that he gives you a good bat. He's solid in the field. And unless you're willing to give up one of your young pitchers to really go get somebody that's significantly better, you're really talking about a month and a half, or 2 months at the most of Dominic Smith. And what I would do is improve right field and second base.
Right field and second
or
base.
Or if I got a shortstop, tell you what, you give me
a shortstop and move Adames to second.
Yeah. You get me a great shortstop, and then I move Willie over to second base and I take some pressure off of him maybe. And just he's the second baseman. You make your bench deeper by making Fitzgerald more of a utility guy. I mean, it is a weak lineup. It really is.
It is.
I don't know what's out there that's available that's going to actually scream like, are you going to get a guy that's not a rental, that's a really, really good hitter without having to give up something that's good? Probably not.
Hey,
my
guys,
guess is they do something very small. My guess is they do margins, things around the margins.
Mark Graves has a super chat, and then I just wanted to make a little comment about
There we
today.
go. Thanks, Mark. Crazy stats. If the Giants scored 4 runs a game, their record would be 53-14 with a 14-game lead. They would have started the season 13-0. That's incredible.
Well, that's an average. You're assuming, though, that they scored 4 runs every game, which is...
Or 1 run here and then
10
runs.
Yeah.
All right, guys. One of the topics I was excited to talk about tonight is you have a guy that was our big signing for the year.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
And we sat him today. So this way he could get 2 days off mentally and physically. They say he might be fatigued. It's sort of scary because we have this guy this year and 6 more years. What do you think about them? And I think it does make a statement because they did it. I think they announced it, Thursday? Hey, he's going to be out. Alex said he's taking Sunday off. Hold on.
San Francisco Fire Department.
Because of the situation, I thought it was sort of a huge move. I don't think it was just, hey, it's Sunday and Monday, we're giving you the day off. It's just, he's not that good right now. He's sort of like what Lamont was. offensively with us, where, he's not hitting that well. I mean, I've seen a few of his hits where they were lucky to be hits. They're not solid hits, but when you sit down with someone like this, I think it's going to, hopefully it helps, because now he's getting 2 days off, and now you're going to Colorado where the ball usually flies. But, I thought it was a big thing because, hey, he's the biggest, highest paid player in your team. It would be like someone like Eldridge coming up and being sent back down. It makes a major statement. It's like, this is Adames and Chapman were 1A of our offensive team. And one of them, you're telling, hey, and again, he's doing this. It's only June 8th. So that's why I just thought I'd ask you guys' opinion. Were you guys surprised the Giants did this? Are you surprised that Buster did it? No. Okay.
No, sitting a guy? No. This guy, everybody needs a day off. They should have been giving him a day off like the last few weeks, but I guess he asked to be in the lineup. But this is,
you got to do what's best for the team.
Yeah. The Giants are, in some way, they're kind of fortunate that Casey didn't go 4 for. What happens if Casey Schmidt went 4 for 4 today? He didn't have a good day at the plate. But what happens if he went 4 for 4 and, was driving the ball, and all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh.
Creates yeah.
Now what are we going to do? Adames, if he can't get things going in Colorado, man,
I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. This is a retweet from Jeff Young. This is a while back, about a few days ago. This guy, I don't know who this, Jules Posner, it's got 2,500 followers. He's been looking at this Adames stuff. And he says, 1, decreased bat speed and a shorter swing path. He's trying to shorten his swing to make up for the loss in his bat speed, but his swing has a lot of moving parts. If his timing is off, equals bad. 2, steeper attack angle, since his swing is slower and he has later on pitches, what I don't know, his contact point is arriving closer to the bat, entering the hitting zone than before. This is resulting in more mishits. This is evidenced by his reduction in his contact. It gets into some weird stuff. Due to Adames' setup, his swing is not designated to age gracefully. Any loss in bat speed, reaction time, or vision could all have huge implication for his batted ball data, and we're seeing that as he's set to turn 30 this season. So this isn't the first time I've seen something talk about it. As a matter of fact, Jeff Young talked about it himself, saying that there's issues with his what do you want to say?
Velocity or his bat speed?
His bat speed.
He's missing.
Did you also did you see the thing in Harold Reynolds, what he put out?
What did he have to say? Let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah, let me pull this up.
But that's significant, right? I think, didn't he say he lost, what was it, 2 miles an hour off his bat swing speed? I mean,
I don't think I will be able to
I can't play it. You're just gonna
because I'll just have to show you the graphic, because if I play it, it's off of MLB Network, and then we'll get flagged.
Yeah, I know.
But he's showing the difference between Oracle Park and Milwaukee, and why these and that he has to pull the ball if he wants to hit home runs. Take a look at the difference, the overlay between Milwaukee and see that left center. It's $399 at Oracle. That's $371 in Milwaukee. See the little fence?
Yeah, gotcha.
Look at Triples Alley, $415, $374 out there. He hit a ball the other night that I thought, oh shoot, that might go, and it was just a long out. And
but here's another thing: he's not doing it on the road either. It's not just Oracle Park, right? I mean, he's got something going on, and the way it looks like what that guy Jules is saying. There is something wrong with his swing. He might be broken, man. And I don't know if you can recover. I don't know if there's anyone out there. How do you gain bat speed after you've lost it? Is that something you can get back if you've lost? I don't know.
And Eric, you bring up a great point, because I also heard Bailey lost like a
I've heard
which could explain why he's been because you got to remember, first of all, it's hard enough to hit a baseball, but I hate
Right.
it when these guys are in a slump. They hit the ball, and and Dan brings this up a lot. All you got to do is miss it a little bit. You'd say a quarter inch, and that's why you foul it back, because you're not on top of the ball.
Right.
And tonight I was watching Judge. The reason why he's so good, he doesn't even have a launch angle. He just hits the ball solid. The ball goes. It's just one of those things now. I don't know what to do about him. I mean, Eric, you bring up a great point. He's not hitting on the road. But again, the big Giants' problem is we usually bat him third or fifth, where we need guys that can make solid contact. And, those guys are big. When Adames isn't doing anything, then the pressure's on Chapman. And when you get those two not contributing, just simple stuff, fly balls, staying out of double plays, solid contact. And we already know, before we got rid of Lamont, we already had 3 guys that were like that. You can't have 4 or 5 guys offensively. And then it brings up where these pitchers think, I got to pitch 2 runs or less or we're going to lose, and that's where it gets tough, especially like these young guys have been sort of in trouble recently. Roop's been having trouble, today a little bit. He got sort of lucky. I forgot Birdsong the other night in the 4th or 5th inning, I think, got lucky where, it's just a lot of pressure because they feel like, oh my God, I give up 2 walks and a base hit. It feels like I've just given up 6 walks. You know what I mean? It's just because we're just not putting up the offensive numbers.
I have a theory, guys, on Bailey. This is going to sound, for those
Dan, I think you should tell Eric what we talked about on Monday and Tuesday about his AAA thing, where he should be and everything. You said, well, I think he only had 130 at bats in AAA.
He only had 130 at bats in AA and AAA combined, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because of the injury to who was it?
Bart.
Bart.
Yeah, he just wasn't ready to. And you know what? Like a lot of hitters, pitchers didn't know him, and they were just throwing. And once they figured him out. But here's my theory on Bailey. Besides that, and I can speak from experience because I've had a few of them, and I don't feel like I'm as quick when it comes to my reactions with my head movement. Bailey has had 2 or 3 concussions in the last couple years, and he continues to get foul balls off the mask. And I really think it affects his
vision.
A little bit of his vision could be affected. Just a split second of
reaction time.
Your reaction time. Those concussions are very serious, very serious. And I've seen them,
Matheny.
I've seen what the
Giants have gone through a lot,
Yeah.
Buster,
the ones I've had, man, they slow you down. And just the more you get
concussions in college, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
The more you get, they're cumulative. They get worse, and it doesn't take as much. I'm really concerned that his reaction time, he looks very lost at the plate, almost like at times he just wants to go sit down on the bench. Like, I'm just going to swing, and I'm not even close. I just got to get out of here. There's, I'm not sure. He had a few last year. He hasn't had any this year, but he's gotten hit in the head a couple times off foul balls. I don't think Bailey is probably ever going, he'll get you the occasional blast, he's going to come through.
He'll get you one.
Yeah. But I think that's an issue. I really do. And the other thing, I just don't know if, that's really it. It's more the concussion situation. Catching wise, he's solid at getting throwing guys. Pop time still good. Framing's good, but
the other thing's not so much.
Yeah, he's not a solid hitter at all. He's also, as a catcher, his greatest his two best attributes are framing and pop time, but he doesn't catch the ball a lot. He misses more balls than any catcher I've seen in the big leagues.
He does. He misses a lot.
He misses a lot. I
What
mean,
was that series? Oh, Detroit. He was awful in Detroit.
Yeah. So
and scooping, like a play at the plate where he scoops.
He
like
doesn't.
Almost
He backhands
does
it
the wrong way. Yeah.
He doesn't come up underneath. He tries to stay with his forehand and try to come down with it, and it doesn't work, man.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get his body in front.
He doesn't look to me like he's, how do I say it? When you've had concussions, you get a little bit, you're a little leery
hesitant?
of getting you're tentative.
Your bell rung a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to get in there. If you notice, he'll scoop a ball like a play at the plate. He doesn't want to get in there and get his face in it and be hit. And I don't, frankly, I don't blame him because he's a concussion or two away from being done in his career. I really believe that.
Look at Matheny. It was two in one game. Then he had two more and he goes, that's it.
Yep. He ended his career early.
Giants have had that reputation, for a lot of concussions. If you go through probably the last 15 years, the Giants have suffered a lot. And, that was one of the things why Buster, he said, all right, I'm at the point where I got a family, I'm walking away, and I want to make sure I can be a dad. My life is my priority, beside baseball. So, no, Dan, that's a great point. That's the first I've heard of it.
I see it. Because he's
a good point.
Those concussions are not good. And I think he probably came back early last year from the one he had. So I don't know.
How about this real quick to kind of go back to Adamas? Can we kind of put this a bit? What he's going through is not a slump, right? This isn't a slump.
No, this is a
some kind of breakdown of some sort.
There's something not right because he's not even hitting the ball hard. He's not making loud outs.
No.
It's not like, he's hitting in bad luck. He's lucky he hits the ball.
He's Eric, the big thing to me is one of the things about Dan always does is strikeouts. He's at 31% for the year. That's pretty tough for your 3 or 4 batter. He's won for his last 21. But, one of the things me and Dan talk about on NorCal is the back of the baseball card. So I just, I got his stats up. So just let's take away last year's thing where he was, finished 5th in the MVP. He played in Milwaukee, contract year, where you do whatever it takes. The year before, which a lot of people don't know, he batted .217.
Right.
He fit right in with our team. Okay. He batted .217, 24 homers, 80 RBIs. The year before in Milwaukee, he batted .238, 31 homers, 98 RBIs. Then in 2021, he batted 20 homers, 58 RBIs, and he batted .285. And then his last year at Tampa Bay, he batted .197. So, it was one of those things where it might have been everything happened for a reason. It was his his walking year. As Dan said, I think he had 1 grand slam and like 8 3-run homer, 8 of them. So when you look at it, and the Giants were desperate, but if you look back the years before, it was almost like he reminds me with his stats, sort of like a Chapman, where they talked about how good he was offensively, but it's not consistent, and I'm talking more about batting average. I'm just a little bit worried because 31% strikeouts. And we see he's not really making solid contact. You just paid this guy 7-year deal. It's 28 or 29 million a year. I'm just a little bit worried because it's only June and we've only been playing 2.5 months. And this is what we're seeing. And I think, Eric, you bring up a great point. Is this who we signed? Right. Is it a slump? How could it be such a downfall from last year? Now, earlier, I think it was 2 weeks ago, Buster went on TV and he said, hey, when you sign a big contract, there's so much pressure and you're on a new team. And he basically said Lindor for the Mets and Trey Turner for Philly had the same problem. But as I said with Dan, those guys are superstars. I would never consider Adames a superstar. When we signed him, I'm saying, oh my God, we finally got a shortstop and upgrade. But, I just, again, I think, Eric, you bring up a great point, and Dan brings up a good point. We need him. First of all, we need him. So it's one of those things where I hope it's just a little struggle. But, Eric, you're bringing up a thing where at 2 miles an hour, who knows? And again, isn't he from the Dominican Republic? Dan's big thing is most of these guys lie about their age. Maybe he's not 30. Maybe he's 35. Because Dan always says these guys have been lying forever.
Dominican guys, they have a history.
Yeah.
The guy Miguel Tejada, the general manager of the Florida Marlins, accused Albert Pujols, said everybody knows he's not what he is.
Didn't someone just get in trouble recently for?
A signee. Yeah.
So
they don't have any good. They have horrible record keeping records. Birth certificates, and so these guys get these incredible contracts. Look, if Willy Adames really is, let's say, he's 29, right? What happens if he's 32, 33? I don't know. Maybe that these guys' whole goal coming out of the Dominican is to become, multimillionaires. Yeah. But who knows? If he's 20, let's just assume he is the same age. It doesn't really matter if he's 29 or 30. He sucks right now. And if he's 22 or he's 29, whatever he's doing, it's not working. Giants are stuck. I mean, this is it. I mean, maybe he does something like Barry Zito and he walks off a game in the playoffs of the World Series and it becomes all worth the contract. But if he doesn't actually produce anything the rest of this year and you go into next year and he's, more of the same, you're looking at an albatross for the Giants.
Yes, you are.
You would have to seriously, if he's bad after year 2, you would have to seriously just say, you know what? It's just money. We need to move on.
Yeah. And how about this, Dan? Look at this. 3 players. 2 of them have awards. 1 of them does not.
Championships.
Right? One has a championship. One has 3 All-Stars. One has a batting title, a Silver Slugger, no Gold Glove. The other one, 4 All-Star selections, no batting title, 2 Gold Gloves, and 4 Silver Sluggers.
So I take it Adames is in the middle.
So that excuse, I'm not going to buy that excuse about Trey Turner and Francisco Lindor.
That's what Buster said on KNBR, the commercial leader.
I get it.
Because I remember Lindor did suffer a little bit with his big contracts, but
look at that batting average.
He's gonna look. I get it. He's gonna back his guy. I get it. But you got to be careful because he also in that same interview he called Willy Adames a superstar, and he's not a superstar. Right? He's just not a superstar. Look at the difference between what Willy Adames, he's getting paid $182 million for 7 years. So you can't compare these guys because these guys have a pedigree, so to speak, right?
Right. Those guys
Willy Adames has not won one single award.
No All-Stars. No, Willy Adames is the Giants jumped on it because he was the shortstop that was available. The Giants would have been better off going out, and I can't remember who the other shortstops were on the market last year when it was Adames, and was it one other shortstop?
Oh, I don't think there was not many.
Do you think it was an overreaction when there were 4 superstar shortstops?
Remember
the Giants waited, finally got one, the guy who's now with Minnesota, Correa. And then they backed out, got cold feet. And then all of a sudden, we didn't have a shortstop again. Crawford, they tried, but it didn't work out. They saw
Luciano
one.
Didn't work out.
They brought up a good point. They signed him even before any of these other big free agents even were signed. It was like we saw him, we got him. All right, good, we got him. But
there was the one move that was the only move until Verlander a month and a half later or whatever it was.
Yep.
We thought a bunch of moves were going to happen.
We all thought that.
Yeah. This is a good point by JBAU. Bailey should
JB.
just focus on batting left-handed. Forget the right side. 75% of the pitchers are right-handed. When you go up right-handed and you rarely do bat right-handed, you have very weak contact. Just go up there and bat left-handed and cut the right-handed out of your game. Just become a left-handed hitter. Specialize in hitting left-handed. Work at it. Master it. Maybe Bailey can get his batting average up to 220, 225 batting left-handed. And if he did that, you live with it because
JT Snow stop switch hitting. Panda stop switch hitting because it just got to a point where, he was hurting the team. I think great point, Dan.
Well, it wasn't my point, but, I definitely agree with it.
It's less work, right? If it's already being a little bit much, then remove something that really doesn't need to be there in the first
I mean, it's like, hey, if you suck at both, pick the one where you're going to bat the most often because you're really bad right-handed. We can all see when he's up there right-handed, he looks like, okay, all right, this is a college pitcher facing, a little leaguer. Mm-hmm. He just looks like he's up there and he's just like, oh gosh, I hope I can hit the ball.
And when he's up, that's when they'll bring the lefty to force him to right. And you can't really take out your catcher when you call him up to pinch hit because now you're down to one and then you have an emergency one and that's it.
You know what? He can bat left-handed. Come on. It's not like, he's got a decent stroke left-handed. Just work on it. He's hit the ball hard. Last year, the first half of the season, he looked like an all-star.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like an all-star. He was hitting in the 260, 280 range or whatever it was. And then he just went second half. He went in that 1 for 41 slump or whatever it was.
Can I ask you something? Getting ready to play Colorado. You nervous about Harrison pitching in Colorado?
Yes and no. I mean, the guy they're facing has got an 8.5 ERA. I mean, that means the Giants hopefully can get 5 or 6. I mean, the Giants should be able to get to this guy. Harrison, if his stuff's just don't walk guys. That's what you don't want to do in Colorado. Make him put the ball in play if you're, I asked this,
the breaking stuff doesn't break much.
Yeah. I asked this today with Glenn Kuiper. We were on. What do you guys think? They got an off day tomorrow. Sunday, whoever pitches Tuesday's lined up to pitch Sunday against the Dodgers.
Right.
So would you flip Ray and Harrison?
Right. I was thinking about that too. Set up your rotation to face the Dodgers.
I don't want Harrison facing the Dodgers Sunday. Not that he's not. It's just he's young. It's Dodger Stadium. It might even
Father's Day, primetime ESPN game.
Probably
ESPN
Sunday night game. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's switch those two. The only other thing I can think of is if they go with Harrison and they keep it the way it is, they might be having Verlander come in Sunday in LA. I could see that. Verlander steps back in to the rotation.
Because you're also off next Monday. A week from Monday, before Cleveland comes into town and face Cleveland. That's good thinking.
I can see Verlander coming in. He can handle the pressure. And he's pitching Tuesday, a side, simulated type deal. So
no rehab then, I'm guessing? No rehab?
Doesn't sound like it. It sounds more like they're just building up his pitch count on the, facing live batters.
And if they bring him on, who do we drop from our roster?
Harrison will go to the bullpen.
Harrison goes to the bullpen, but who gets dropped? Is it
Jelly or Beck? Jelly or Beck?
Jelly, I thought I saw.
Koss is already gone.
Good to see him back. I mean, it was good to see him back. Yeah, I can't remember who.
Maybe Beck. Jelly's doing a good job. I'd rather see Beck get sent down, but
yeah, it's
it'll be one of those two guys.
Probably one of those two guys, yeah.
And then when Hicks comes reactivated, then the other guy goes. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah. I would be working on a trade with Hicks, man. I would, what I would do if it's too bad they can't do it because you can't really do it. But if there was a game situation where Duvall had pitched two games in a row and he wasn't available, I'd make if you can make Hicks close and he closes, man, his value goes up all of a sudden because like the guy's got closer stuff and everybody, I mean, there are teams dying for a closer. And then you've got 4 or 5 teams looking at Hicks wanting, I think Hicks could have been a closer if the Giants would have just made him one or made him a bullpen guy. But, for whatever reason, he signed with the Giants because
maybe because of that
he
wanted to be a starter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it, Dallas. You can't trust him to close now. It's too risky because every game counts. Every game counts. I mean, you got 96 games left, right? 96 games. The Giants, you could say, it's one game. It's going to come down. If they make the playoffs, it's coming down to a game.
Yeah. Right.
You got,
right?
You can go 49 and 47 and that you're, 12 over and that puts you in the playoffs. But if you go 500, you're a game short. I mean, and the thing is, I think that's a very good point because last year it happened.
See, 96 games. 96 games. So that's
go for it.
48 and 48's 500. Correct?
Yeah.
They are what right
38.
now? Okay. So if they went 48,
that's 86 wins, right?
That is not enough. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I predicted them to be.
Yeah, 86. It is.
And they have this tendency to kind of revert back to the means of being this 500 club. We've seen them do this for the last 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a streak and then they'll go down and they'll have a streak, and then they just, in the end, I mean, we've been keeping this stat here on NorCal Sports Network. The Giants, since they started 8-1, are now, are they 30 and 27? Is that what they are? Yeah, they're 30 and 27. They were
3 games above.
They were 25 and 27, but now with this 5-game winning streak, they are now 30 and there it is right there. Since 8-1, Giants are 30 and 27.
Wow.
So it's that start that got them going.
Yes.
Now
paid them dividends, man.
What they've got to go do now is go out and sweep Colorado and win at least one in LA.
That would be fantastic. I'd be happy with that. Honestly, if you could sweep Colorado and then just get one in LA, that's a success.
You'd come back in first place.
Or right next to it. Yeah, because you'll only lose one game on the Dodgers in LA in that series, but you're probably going to gain a game on the Dodgers while they're facing San Diego. So you got to sweep. You have to sweep. This isn't like you go in there and go, well, we'll be happy with 2 or 3. This team's won 12 games.
You got to go for the jugular, man.
This team has won 12 games, everybody. The Colorado Rockies right now, their record as we speak is 12 wins and 53 losses. They are at 18.5% win ratio. That puts them on a pace for how many wins, you think? 162 divided by 18.5% is a whopping, wait, I did that wrong. 162. They're going to win 30 games.
Yeah.
30 games. That means they are 30 and 132.
Remember, they did go to Miami and sweep at Miami. That's why our wins went 2 at 3 at Miami weren't that like, all right, great. But
now we just jinxed the club.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're going to be coming doing post games and absolutely losing our minds.
Alex Russell says, wait a minute. What does Alex Russell say?
He's saying, oh, I see. Oh, my bad.
Maybe you didn't see the 8-1 start.
Giants have a 30-27 record. They have a
Yeah.
30. They've played 9 more games and have 8 more
Talking
wins.
about.
No.
Since they were 8-1.
Since they were 8-1.
Let me put the graphic up again so that we can make sure we're doing this right with English. Since the 8-1 start, the Giants have won 30. That's 30 plus 8 equals 38. 27 plus 1 is 28. I think I did it right.
Yeah, you got it. You're good.
Okay. Read the English. Since the 8-1 start, Giants are 30-27.
They saw the 30-27.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Okay. All right.
And Eric, you saw Fuji's super chat?
Yeah, let's do it, man. He says, there it comes. How many squares have been bought and filled? Hey, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and run the promo, and then we'll talk a little bit more about that. How about that?
It's cool, Alex. Gotcha.
Here we go.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now, as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right, there we go. Hey, Lou, talk a little bit about Tommy's Mexican Restaurant in Capos.
Sure. So Tommy's Mexican Restaurant is actually sort of legendary because of what happened when I was there with a Giants player and the VP of merchandise. But it's celebrating their 60th year. Tommy's actually invented the Tommy Margarita, that restaurant. So they're very well known. Julio, who runs it, found out that Capos is trying to help us out with the cause. And he said, what are they giving you? And I was honest, said, hey, they're giving us a $50 gift certificate. Tony and Grace from Capos were nice to do that. And Tommy, Julio from Tommy says, all right, I want to beat him, which only helps us, and gave us a $50 gift certificate for dinner and another gift certificate for a free pitcher of margaritas. And if you guys have been in San Francisco or the Bay Area, they're very well known for the margaritas. My buddy of mine, Grady's the bartender. They'll take great care of you. And Capos, Tony's Pizza that everyone knows in San Francisco. They have 2 locations. Capos is a little bit more my area. Very well done. And basically great food, great pizza, Chicago style. And the head chef there, Tony, is very well known. He actually, his margarita pizza won Pizza of the World last year. And, you know, they won. I told them, hey, you guys mind helping out? And they're helping us out. So, guys, do you not get the game, get to go on the field, get to enjoy, hopefully, a Giants win on a Friday night. You're also going to get 2 gift certificates, one for $50 to go to Capos, the other one, $50 to go to Tommy's, and another gift certificate for a margarita. I mean, that's really all we can do, right, guys?
Come on, man.
We got one more gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, courtesy of Willie Adamas. We've got his walker right here. Willie's donating his walker.
That's pretty good. Is it signed? Oh, man.
And then Eric, I don't know if you know, but one of the guys, I don't know if he's on your show, but Dan, do you maybe want to give Aaron a little shout? Since he's buying the square and what he does,
man.
About his cookies.
He's buying another square for his cookie business. Bake that dough.
Yeah,
dude.
Bake that dough.
He sent me some some tasters. Oh my,
aren't they
Dude,
unbelievable? They're
bro.
unbelievable.
Dude, they are awesome. I'm telling you.
I know. I've been.
You
eating
tried
them.
some too, huh?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. Dude,
I don't know which one's my favorite.
it's
I love the
next
pink
level.
one with the pink frosting and then
the lemon. The lemon one.
No, that
The
was
zebra. Did you do the zebra one? Oh, dude.
yeah.
the
They're
zebra
all
one.
amazing. They're all
And
amazing.
you get
My wife
20%.
loved them.
And is it 20% off if his logo? I mean, I know we show it, Eric. I don't know if you've shown it, but if you go to Aaron, you get 20% off your first order.
Yeah,
and
your
free
first
Hey,
order.
all right. Hold on. Let me bring up his. Hold on. I got it.
So
right
help
here.
Aaron out. Help out the start of the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. It's loading up right now, and I'll get it to you guys. Taking forever. There it goes.
That's right. So as Dan knows, Eric, I also ordered some cookies, got the 20% off. It was literally a day and a half later. It arrived. Perfect shipping, samples, the works. Well worth it. 20% off. Why not help the chat, guys? So that's what it is. Aaron, love them. Thank you, Aaron.
And it's a small business, right? It's coming up
Yep.
eventually. I don't know why it's
Yeah.
lagging, but there you go.
Now it's on.
Bake that dough. All you got to do is go on Instagram, has all the information that you need. These things are absolutely fabulous.
And how do they get
conchas,
the percentage off?
I don't know. That part I don't know.
Okay, maybe
there
we'll
was a
do it
little-
on Dan's show.
Yep.
Mark Graves ordered. Yep.
There you go, man. I'm telling you, they are fantastic. You guys will not be disappointed. And again, go check out Aaron. Bake that dough. You bet, Aaron. Glad to help out.
Oh, hey, our Steve Sachs, who does the color
The River
commentary up for the River Cats. I think he's done a little bit for the A's as well. Steve Sachs, former LA Dodger, his going in for heart surgery. Wow, on Tuesday. Wow, that's so he wants to come on the hot corner when he recovers. Steve Sachs, great guy, is
Sorry, negative. I won't be on the
no.
show. I can't do a Dodger.
No. He's a good guy. Steve Sachs. Hey, listen, Lou. His son was in the Air Force and was shot.
Marines.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll respect
Marines,
that. Then let's get his son on.
Was killed in the line of duty.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
that-
about that. Sorry for his loss.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So
his support.
no, Steve
right,
Sachs,
Josh.
good guy. He's with he does the broadcast for the Giants AAA team. So he's a Sacramento kid.
Yep.
Great, because he
and-
was in the area. All right. I love it. All these guys because they're in the area.
Yeah, Bill Lasky had a great interview with him about a month or so ago. It was pretty good.
No, Sachs is good. Hey, hopefully, more control than Sachs throws. It's from second. He had the yips at second base one year. I could not throw the ball to first base from second base, and just kept throwing the ball away. And it was just, it got to be a thing in LA. Yeah.
It was big. I remember him at the stick where he just couldn't throw it. It was perfect moments during the game. He had the yips, and then it was crazy because when the Giants hosted the Dodgers, everyone knew about it. We made sure, about it. And again, I'm just kidding, him being a Dodger.
Yeah, he grew up hating the Dodgers. A lot of these guys, hey, look, you're stuck if somebody's drafts you and is going to pay you, millions of dollars. I can't take it. I hate you guys. Hey, look, I guarantee you, if Charlie,
I was going to say, if Charlie gets drafted by the Dodgers,
and comes
Junior
up
will be wearing a Dodgers hat
and comes up in their system, you will see Kelly with a Dodgers hat, and he'll be like all over it. I guarantee it.
Oh my God!
And Eric, one of the things that's so funny is the great Jackie Robinson had a decision because the Dodgers traded him to the Giants, and he goes, "You know what? I'd rather retire."
He'd rather retire
play for that team. Forget that. And this is when New York was, such. People forget, if you ever see an old photo, the Yankees, Ebbets Field, where the Dodgers played, and the Polo Grounds, literally you could see from each one. They were that close. We never realized it, growing up here on the West Coast, LA, but they were all literally so close together. And that's what made those three teams, a rivalry, so incredible. Yankees, Dodgers, and Giants.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did or not, Senior. I haven't even looked at it. If I did, I did. But I don't know if did you see the Facebook thing that Kelly put out on
No,
Charlie?
I haven't yet.
I saw it today. It was really awesome. But
I think he put the natural music to it, right?
He did. I don't know if you can play it without music, if you had the music sound down.
Yeah,
or if it's just built
but then,
in.
But then it kind of sucks.
Yeah, then it loses
its. Yeah.
It's got.
Hey, real quick, let's just go back to the squirrels real quick. Aaron says he was going to buy another one. Here is the current list, guys. Aaron, what number do you want? This is current as of now, and I'll update it as soon as you tell me what square you want.
Look at that. He's 8. Steve Young, Hunter Pence. That's a good number. 8.
Yeah.
Aaron took 100.
Oh, he took 100.
Good
All
number.
right, then. There we go.
100. Okay. Like, as in, those cookies are
100.
Good 100% of the time.
Oh, man, that's pretty good. All right, let me open this up and I'll get it all fixed up. Right on.
100.
Thanks, Aaron.
Come on, guys. The Giants have won 5 straight. We're only going to sell 1 square. Come on.
Come on, man.
I might have to start doing trades on fantasy baseball right now. Come on, guys. I did get offered a trade. I haven't been offered a trade in a long time. I got offered a trade tonight.
Oh, no.
But I didn't. It was a little bit tempting, but Robbie Dizzle, if you're watching, not a bad offer, but just couldn't pull the trigger.
Couldn't quite get there, huh?
Senior says he'll take 8 for Charlie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right. Third comment from the bottom.
All right, here, let me put it. I don't got it up. I'm looking. So Senior is taking number 8. Got it. Right
For
on,
Charlie.
Senior.
So you got to put Charlie down, maybe.
Oh, you want to put Char? Okay. Hold on.
Put Little Pence.
I'll just put Char because there's not much you could do in there. They're small squares.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the hey, there's Robbie DeVille.
What's up, Robbie?
Did you see the place catch fire inside the stadium today?
Yeah.
I saw something on X. Was it before the game or was it during the game?
Yeah, before the game. Robbie was there early, and he says the alarms were going off and everything.
Because I saw fire engines there as people were coming in.
Could you imagine a stadium catches on fire because some little restaurant?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Now, where exactly? I don't know where the Fuji stand is. So is it on the club level? The main level, center field?
I'm not sure. It looked like the club level to me based on what I saw.
If anybody knows where the Fuji restaurant is, sorry, guys. My seats, I don't know where the Fuji is.
There we are. Charlie's at number 8, and Aaron also has number 128. There we go. Sweet.
Ibrahim says the fire was caused by Adamas. He was committing arson in hopes of getting hot.
That's pretty good. Dallas. Willie's Adamas bats were not in danger. Oh, hey, man.
Check this one out. I don't, let me see if I can get this. Maybe I can. Oh, I know what I can do. I can send this to, there we go. I'm going to, hold on here. Let me see if I can.
Way to go, Dylan. Yeah, Eric, I don't know if you knew I was back in Syracuse, New York for the Belmont Stakes. You know, the big horse race they had yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Now I'm back.
All right.
Good job, Dylan. Way to order some cookies. Let us know.
Hey, way to go, Dylan. There you go. By the way, 37 squares are left. That's it. Only 37 left to go.
Wow.
Oh, Mark. Hold on, Mark. 20 is not available.
No, I think he's sending $20.
Oh, he's sending 20. Oh, what Here, hold on then.
What number?
There we go. Let me put it up. What number you want, Mark?
This just in, Willie Adames, instead of getting a torpedo bat, has just ordered his new bats. They will be in on time for Colorado series. And here they are.
Oh, hold on. Let me get out of the way. Here, let me get this out of here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
There's the
That's
Willie.
bad. The cheerleader bat.
The Willie Adames bats are in.
Wow.
And it's a little cheerleader pom-pom there, courtesy of Aaron. Aaron, I think, designed that.
Wow. That's pretty good, Aaron. That was pretty good, man. All right, Mark Graves, I got you in at 49, buddy.
49. 49. So we're down to how many squares? 35, 36?
36 now. 36. Pretty good. Getting there.
And I will say, Glenn has somebody that is probably 5 to 10. I have somebody that's probably going to take 5. So, you guys got to shoot. Get your things now before it's too late.
Right.
Please.
Because once it gets down to 20, I think it's going to sell out like almost immediately.
Yeah.
So we're talking like only about 16 more squares, and then it's yeah.
Adames is the ML Carr. I remember ML Carr with the Celtics against the Lakers. Dallas says he'd prefer Verlander not face the Dodgers until he has a start under his belt. I think we have a better shot with Harrison. Well, then if you have Harrison, since you have a day off tomorrow, would you flip Harrison and Ray so that you have Ray against the Dodgers? Why not have Webb and Ray go at that series? Webb's going to pitch Friday.
Dude, yeah, that's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it. San Francisco Giants, if you're listening, Bob Melvin, just flip Kyle Harrison and Robbie Ray. You're facing the Dodgers. You want to go with your aces. It's a big series. This is the first 3 games you're going to face them all year, and you're right neck and neck with them.
Yep.
I do have Melvin's number. I should text him.
There you go.
Hey, Bob.
There you go.
Dan Cucimilio. You remember the guy you were going to interview with in the spring, and you just kind of stiffed me? Bob, why don't you just flip Kyle? It's one day. Gives Kyle an extra day of rest.
Yep.
Ray goes on his regular 4 days rest, and you got him for against the Dodgers.
There you go. I like it.
Plus, you start the series off right. When did Robbie pitch last? Thursday, right?
Against San Diego, right? Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Right.
Wasn't it Thursday?
Or was it? Wait, who? No, because it was Birdsong, Webb, and now Roop that pitched.
Pitched
right?
Thursday. He pitched Thursday.
So it was
okay.
Thursday.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days rest.
So he's pitching Wednesday.
Yeah, pitch him Tuesday.
Pitching tomorrow.
Pitch him Tuesday. Pitch Harrison Wednesday, and then
because then against the Dodgers would be Webb, Roop, and Ray.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Yes.
I mean, come on. That's just something that you got to do. You can't throw. I mean, Harrison would be fine in many ways, but I just I would feel better with a guy that's 8-1, hopefully maybe 9-1 after a Colorado game going in there.
And Dan, you got to remember, Friday night we have Webb against Yamamoto, and I don't know if you guys see Yamamoto
goodness, that's going to be the pitching matchup of the year for the Giants.
That's going to be awesome.
So, I mean, he lost yesterday, and he gave up 2 hits, struck out 11, 1 walk. So Yamamoto,
Wow.
man, if you don't
And
get
hey,
in the first, it's tough.
And Webb went what, 6 or 7? No, 6. Struck out 10 and gave up 2 runs.
Yeah.
No walks. Yeah. Hey, there you go. From Fuji says, congrats, NorCal. Closing in on 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I guess we're 9 away. Wow.
Nice.
9 away.
Nice. Hey, guys, I got to get out of here in about.
Oh, yeah, 9:20. Let's get going. Hey, I didn't realize. Look at
we're having too much fun, man.
Going fun, yeah.
My bad,
So,
7. I thought he went 6. I thought he went 6.
What do you got this week? 6 games. What's your prediction?
Oh, 4-2. Let's do it.
Lou?
Why not? 4-2.
What do you got, Lou? Women weaken legs. What do you got, Lou?
Pitching matchups 2-4.
Oh,
Lou.
shit.
Oh,
Man. Oh, my God. When did Glenn get in here? I'm messing up.
I'm just looking at the pitching matchups.
You don't think they'll beat Colorado 3?
I'm just worried having 2 young guys, pitch Colorado. If you're not used to it, anything can happen. And, these 1-run games, they're not 1-run games in Colorado. That's the problem.
All right.
And then the Dodger games with Yamamoto, I think that's a loss. I just don't know. I'd be happy with 3-3. Going 4-2 means we're going to sweep, which a lot of pressure, and we're going to win 2 out of 3.
I'm going to go 4-2.
Nice.
I don't know how they do it. I think they get 3 in Colorado, 1. It would be great but wait a minute.
And you got to remember, if we go 3, that means
I got
won
Robert
8
Rothberg.
straight.
I got Robert Rothberg.
Do you know what I mean, Eric? Do you think we're going to ever win 8 straight? It's tough.
Hold on. I got Robert.
It is.
I got Robert Rothberg on the line here. Robert, what do you think? 3 in Colorado, 3 in LA. That's 6 games. What do you got the Giants going? No, they can't go 7-0, Robert. They cannot go 7-0. They're only playing 6. Robert's sticking with 7-0. He's going to go with it somehow. So we're going to take Robert's tick 7-0 for the Giants this week, according to Robert Rothberg.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, guys. With that, let's get the hell out of here, huh? All right, guys. We'll be back next Sunday. Do it all over again. We'll see where the Giants are gonna finish.
Eric, next Sunday, Father's Day,
Sure.
100% we're on, right? Hot Corner?
No, we're not. Oh, Hot Corner. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, Hot Corner, we're good.
Okay.
I'm trying to do that get together. I got to get a hold of Brian to do that. The get together over there.
No problem.
in
I
Elk
just
Grove.
want to make sure, being Father's Day, some guys.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
It's not
that
like
day.
Mother's Day where you do brunch. Father's Day, you just give your dad a high five, say hello, and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, let's get out of here. We'll see you. Well, you're doing post game on Tuesday, right?
Yeah. We'll do a post game at 8 o'clock. What time's the game? 5?
Somewhere around there, right?
And Hot Corner after the Giant Dodger game, right?
Yes, that's going to be the final,
Okay.
the final game of the series. Yeah. So, it's going to be fun to talk about.
Giants play on 5:40.
5:40 on Tuesday.
We'll probably come on 8:15, whatever, right after the game.
Sounds good. And we'll be back on about 30 minutes after that. Right on.
All
Let's
right.
do it. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Woo!